In 2020, I started having chest pain and shortness of breath. I went to my primary care doctor. He did an EKG. The EKG showed I had right-sided heart failure. The doctor thought I might be having blood clots in my lungs. He sent me via ambulance to the hospital. The hospital ran some tests. When everything came back as normal, I was sent home. I was told to follow up with a cardiologist. A few weeks later, I had my appointment with a cardiologist. My breathing was worse. My heart rate was elevated. I had severe chest pain. The cardiologist looked at my EKG. He told me there were many things wrong with it, but because I was young and thin, I did not have any heart issues. The doctor sent me home. When I arrived home, I collapsed to the ground. My mom called the ambulance. I was taken to a different hospital than the one my primary care provider works at. At this new hospital, they checked if I was having a heart attack. When the results came back as normal, I was sent home and told there was nothing wrong with me. Even though my heart was racing, I could not sit up, and the nurses were pleading with the doctor that there was something wrong with me. The doctor did not care. He told me I was not having a heart attack. I needed to go home. I laid on my bedroom floor when I got home. I struggled to breathe. I thought I was going to die that night. I told God I was too tired to fight. If I was going to make it through the night, He was going to have to provide me with the energy to do so. Somehow, I made it through the night. In the morning, my breathing slightly improved. The following week, I saw my primary care provider. At the appointment, I could barely speak because I was gasping so hard to breathe. The doctor was immediately alarmed. He sent me straight to the emergency department, but this time he gave the emergency department strict instructions on which tests to run. They ran a D-dimer test, which is a nonspecific test for blood clots. My result came back as 20, which is off the charts high. A nurse ran into my room with an injection of Lovenox. Shortly after receiving the injection, I had a little bit of relief. I was hospitalized for a few more days. My breathing improved. The Lovenox was discontinued and I was sent home on Eliquis. Eliquis is a blood thinner. I was told I would not have any more issues with blood clots as long as I took the medicine Eliquis. About a month later, I had another blood clot in my lungs. I could not breathe and raced back to the emergency department. I was told I could not have a blood clot because I was on the medicine Eliquis. It is impossible to get blood clots while on a blood thinner. Rather, I was told I had pneumonia. The doctor said she could hear crackles in my lungs and decreased breath sounds. The chest x-ray was clear and did not show any pneumonia. Nonetheless, I was admitted to the hospital for pneumonia. The antibiotics did not work. I still could not breathe. I did research online and found out a blood clot in the lungs is frequently misdiagnosed as pneumonia. Blood clots in the lungs also cause crackles and decreased breath sounds. And from there, my long battle to get medical care for my blood clots continued. I have had episodes where I get multiple blood clots in my body. They usually occur in my left leg, my left arm where my intravenous line called a PICC line is located, and my left shoulder area. I also get very short of breath, and from time to time, it becomes very difficult to breathe. I suspect when it becomes very hard to breathe, one of the blood clots may have gone to my lungs. These episodes last anywhere from a few weeks to several months. Sometimes the blood clots slowly go away, and sometimes it feels like a switch is flipped and the blood clots quickly disappear. I have tried to get medical care for these blood clots, but I'm told over and over again, they are not blood clots. I cannot have blood clots because I'm on the blood thinner Eliquis. I have asked to be placed on a different blood thinner, such as warfarin or heparin, but so far my requests have been denied. Right now, I'm in the midst of one of my blood clotting episodes. It started off with one single blood clot in my left calf, and now there are several places in my left leg which hurt. My left arm also hurts, especially around the area where I have my PICC line. My right calf and my left shoulder area also hurt. In addition, my chest feels quite tight and I get short of breath doing simple things. I went to the emergency department. The doctor was just in and gave me some updates. He said there's a possibility I might be having blood clots. For that test, I need to do an iodine contrast for the CT scan. However, I'm allergic to iodine, so we can't do that test. The doctor suggested I go to my primary care provider and have the primary care provider order a VQ scan. A VQ scan will show a mismatch between the ventilation and perfusion, and if that is mismatched, then I would have a blood clot in my lungs, and we'd have to treat that accordingly. Since I have a history of blood clots, the emergency department doctor thought it's a good possibility I might have a blood clot, but he also said because I'm on Eliquis, which is a blood thinner, the possibility of actually having a blood clot is very, very low because I'm already on blood thinners. So he was not very concerned and said the probability of me having a blood clot is very, very small, and it's nothing to be concerned about because I'm on blood thinners, and the blood clots, if I have them, should not get any worse as long as I continue to take the Eliquis. I was sent home and told to follow up with my doctor. I currently do not have a medical team because the clinic where I used to receive my care closed. I am waiting for an appointment with a primary care doctor. I hope and pray at the appointment the doctor will help me out by either changing the medication I'm on for my blood clots or referring me on to a hematologist. Thank you so much for joining me. Please remember to like and subscribe down below. I hope you have a great day and a wonderful week. Bye-bye.